and welcome to Limited Content, where a bunch of us friends play Dungeons and Dragons. Yay! Copyright. Before we get started on tonight's game, I'm going to give our sponsor of Tailor Made Craft, as always, a big shout with the Jazz Hands.
Jazz Hands!
And they supply us with our fantastic initiative markers, which are ever so handy. They even got everyone's little stats on them, so I can see and keep track of where everything is going in the game, which is ever so marvellous. If you want to check out their stuff, look at the link that's in our bio, or check them out on their Facebook page or on their Instagram account. Don't look for them on Twitter, because they're not there. Is there anything anybody or wishes to announce before we jump into tonight's episode?
Nope.
No.
No?
Obviously, we do not have a physical Viola at this point.
But we have a very excited Elora who is going to play her. She's so excited.
She's so pumped.
Drinks on Viola.
Yep. Right, so let's dive into tonight's adventure. Finally, after days of travel, you've made it to the city of Waterdeep. You don't take too long to find your next adventure. After easily handling the winged bat creatures that erupted from the well within the yawning portal, you caught the eye of Volo, a well-known wizard who Elora fangirled all over.
Oh yeah.
He's asked you a simple job to help find his handsome friend Floon Blagmar, who went missing a few nights ago. Your investigation has brought you to the Skewered Dragon in the Dockwards, a run-down inn that looks as though it could collapse on you at any moment. You swing open the door, very creaky, kind of got to kick it a little bit, and a few eyes spot onto you all as you enter the very quiet, murky, fishy-smelling inn.
Lovely.
You see a couple of people keeping themselves wrapped up, sipping their drinks, keeping to themselves, not even much chatter among men in here.
This is cozy.
Yeah. Is it a big place or?
Not massively, no.
So
You can even, as you look up on the floorboards, you can even see into the rooms above you from like massive holes. There's like, a couple of floorboards loose. You kind of step on a few of them, makes horrible creaking noises. One of them even buckles a little bit.
Okay, so let's get a drink and see. Yeah, so we'll head to the bar.
Yes.
Yeah, head to the barkeep.
Yeah, go to head up over to the bar. This grumpy little dirty human just got his arms crossed, looking daydreaming. Spots the four of you. What can I get you?
4 whiskies?
Yeah.
God damn, I'm getting a taste of a whiskey. Hom, hom.
Delicious. He from underneath the bar, he just slams down 4 shot glasses, kind of dirty looking, and just grabs the first bottle he looks at and just chucks it in. As he's swallowing through the bottle, you can see that there's like bits and stuff in the bottom of it. Maybe not a whiskey that's been drank for a little while. Or silver then.
So we're gonna go.
So I think that's a 4. Viola hands over 4 silver.
Thank you. And he just walks away. Bottle of whiskey in hand, just puts it on the side and just goes back to leaning, staring into space a little bit.
I want to pick up the glass and I'm not gonna drink it. Just kind of sip it a little bit.
Mimic drinking.
Yeah, I mimic drinking because that
Just swirl it.
So we just kind of as I do that, just kind of glance around the room. Is there any
Anybody noticeable?
yeah, anyone that catches our eye or anyone that Rollo would have? Because didn't he say something about they were playing
Cards.
They were playing cards, weren't they?
As you look around, you do spot a table in the back, a couple of people playing some cards. The people that are around you are just either muttering quietly to themselves or were just sat drinking deep into their pint tankards.
So it's literally just one table that's playing cards.
Yeah, that you can see, yeah.
Should we ask the barman or take a wander or
We could always
find a table?
ask the barman first, and then we could sort of
wander over.
watch
Yeah.
at the same time. Well, not at the same time, but near enough.
Yeah.
Sort of.
Yep. You gonna go sit at table, or
We're gonna talk to the
you talk to
barman
Barman?
first.
So what are you doing to catch his eye? He's kind of just in his own little bubble.
This is where someone just gets their coin pouch out. Oh, well.
Wow.
So you get your coin pouch out, yeah?
No,
If you
no.
say it, you're doing it. It's RPG.
Um.
I mean, how hard is it to get a bartender's attention, guys? Like,
Start slowly.
You alive?
yeah, he notices you waving at him. He's just kind of rolls his eyes. Gonna help you again.
Hi. I've noticed that there's just one table playing cards.
Mm-hmm.
Why is it just one table just playing cards though?
One group of people playing cards, I
Yeah.
guess.
Is it just like a little group that they have?
No, just some people wanted to play some cards, so they started playing cards. It's a weird question.
Gotta ask any old question, alright? Have you noticed anyone who joined in the game recently that's not here?
Well, there's many people who play cards here and aren't here today. Is there someone in particular you're hinting at?
There's someone that owes us money.
There's a few men in this establishment that would fall under that category. You may need to be a bit more specific.
He, well, we believe he gave us a false name, but he had proper wavy red hair, dressed proper nice, not something we normally see, and he owed us a lot of money.
Mm.
We're just wondering, we've heard that this might have been a haunt of his.
Well, there are a few people that may reach that description. Name?
Thorn? Furin? Blagmore?
Ah, him.
So it was his real name then?
Well,
Or as far as we know.
Floon, I believe is his real name.
How interesting.
Hmm.
Do you seen him?
Don't know. What's it worth to you?
Take out a silver, slide it across.
It's pity looks.
Hey look, he took some of my money. Okay, I'll take out another silver and slide it across it.
I'll put 2 gold and slide it across.
We do enjoy dragons, and he takes your 2 gold and your 2 silver. Yeah, I saw him. Chip off your block, that one, you know. Just another rich noble who likes to rub our noses in it every now and then. They left here around midnight. Didn't even notice the 5 men follow them up.
Them? He was with someone?
Yeah, the redhead one.
The redhead. Hang
Yeah.
on, I'm confused.
I mean,
The redhead left with.
the redhead.
There was 2 redheads?
Yes, Floon was with his friend Ranier.
Renier.
Renarie.
A-R-E. Renier.
I mean, you know of Ranier Nevermember, right?
Of course.
Yeah.
Never member.
Yeah.
Just didn't know they were that good of friends.
Yeah. Always up to their tricks, them two. Thick as thieves. But
Thieves is right.
I haven't seen them around since, and
That was last night.
a couple of nights ago, yeah.
Anyone want to chime in? And you said five
Yeah,
guys followed him.
5 men followed him out, and I suppose they were too drunk to even notice.
Typical nobles.
Hmm.
What, was there anything distinguished about the men that followed them? I mean, it wasn't the Sananars, was it?
Well, I don't relate myself with any of the gang warfare that goes on around here, but
No,
I haven't seen them since. But, I do know they usually hang around a warehouse down on Candle Lane.
Mm-mm. what though, I mean, we on our way here we passed a bunch of. Oh, it was just horrible. It was a full-on bloodbath, and
That happens around these parts, unfortunately.
those with the tattoos, they were. That's not going to be a pretty ending for them.
What do you do?
Aye. Well, thank you for the information.
Yes. I assume you're probably gonna look for the warehouse now.
Well, Candle Lane is not a place that we.
Well, you know, for a little extra gold, I could even tell you what warehouse. Many a warehouse on the docks.
A slide him a cold.
I also
This is-
slide him a goad.
As always, it is a pleasure doing business with new patrons. Easy enough, just look for the snake on the door.
Well, thank you. And sorry, we've been extremely rude. What was your name?
I didn't give you my name.
Well, I'm asking. Politeness, you know.
Are you going to be returning patrons, are you?
Well, we might do at this fine establishment if there's a few games going on that we like the look of. Yeah, I'll look over at the card table again just to make out that I'm interested.
Well, my name is Dallas.
Dallas. Nice to meet you, Dallas. My name is Laura.
Very nice. So, you gonna buy another drink or?
Shall we before we go?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Lucy will pay. Come again.
Another 4 silver, please. Doesn't even offer you new glasses, he just
Pause it.
gestures for you to put your old ones on and he just tops it up.
Sweet.
Did you want to have a look at the card game while we're here? Because we don't want to make it look like we're just in and out kind of thing.
Yeah.
As well.
Might as well be intrigued by card games.
So we'll take
My worst nightmare.
You
Take a wander
take a
over.
little stroll through the tables and you find yourself a few feet away from the current poker table. See four men sat around all muttering to themselves, laughing, poking at each other with their elbows, trying to be quite secretive with their cards. There's a small little pot in the centre of the table, a few copper, a few silver, no dragons of yet.
So they're not playing too high at the minute.
Seems like they've only just started.
Is it a game that we recognise? Oh, excuse me.
Sticking around while they play this this hand here, you do recognise it as a card game that you quite often play, Free Dragon Ante.
Did you want to try and play, or
One of them turns around and be like, "Oi, this is not a spectator sport. You in or you're out."
We were just intrigued, that's all.
Well, either play or get lost. Don't want you looking at my cards.
Okay then.
This is fair enough.
Shall we get going?
Yeah.
I'm
Okay.
playing it. I'm gonna risk it so early in the game.
Yep. So yeah.
Does she have 111 gold? Why am I spending my money?
Yeah, we should have just took all the gold out of her.
Because we were so generous. So
We should have gave him 100 gold for the information.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
She would have lost it then.
Okay, yeah, so we'll.
Yep. So you will neck your very cheap, nasty whiskies, and you make your way out the head door.
Can't remember where we were. We were like.
We're like along here somewhere.
So you know
for
that
Fish Street.
Candle Lane is somewhere near the dock ward.
Dockward, Oak Street, Fish Street.
Yeah, we'll just. Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll.
It's just like trying to figure out where we're actually to.
Well, it leads into. Well, we know that
The doors.
Volo told us that
Yeah, but
where
that
we
is the
are
whole
leads
dot,
onto Candle Lane, so we know if we kept going, like the opposite direction to where we were, we should hit it.
I'm just gonna say there's like random little map spots spotted around
Yeah.
around the city where people tourists are there like. Can't find where they are.
I found it.
Unfortunately,
last time.
there are no "you are here" arrows.
We need to like stick
Yeah.
things.
You do not need to stick things on my pretty map.
Sorry.
No, we do that on the DM side. We've been here and here and here.
Right, so we kind of walk out as if we have like a purpose, not that we're just.
So have you
out
figured
of it.
out which way you're going?
I think if we turned. When we came to the pub, was it like on a T junction or was it like.
It was a little bit, yeah.
So turn further into the dock ward, maybe? Problem is, if we ask for Candle Lane, then it's a bit.
Yeah, it'd be a bit.
We'll go for a stroll. See if we can find it. Sorry.
As you were just the four of you all bunched around this little thing, you see a couple of tourists, not tourists, sorry, a couple of the locals looking at you guys like tourists. And let's see, what's everyone's passive perception, please?
10. Really low passive perception.
Yeah, 10.
10?
I'll keep it going. It doesn't
Lucy's
do it on
a
the
10
other.
as well.
Yeah. So who has the lowest passive perception?
Mine's a 12.
12. So who has the lowest?
I think we're all 10, aren't we?
All 10 apart from you. That's a 12. So you, Barakus, you don't notice, but someone takes a couple of copper out of your coin purse.
Why is it me?
They like you.
Oh, I better write that down.
Just
Just
want to
like
mark that off of your intro. You don't notice these. You're all very concentrated on the map.
Okay, so
I'm
we'll.
I'm gonna kill people again.
Well,
If you ever realise.
Oh, I'll fucking kill them once I find out. I'll hunt them down.
Yeah.
Like a
Yeah,
good
so
kid.
we'll head in the direction that we think it is.
Mhm.
Just kind of keeping an eye out.
Mhm. So Candle Lane is you walk for around 5-10 minutes. You make the odd wrong turn here and there.
We just make it look natural.
Yeah, you just try and make it look like really natural. You find a couple like more of the little city maps dotted around the place, and you feel as though you're slowly starting to make your way near to where you need to be. As you start to turn into the street that leads to Candle Lane, all the buildings and everything start to feel a lot more closer together, a lot more shadowed.
I think my definitely like things just like heightened, just like oh god, like kind of my coin purse is like in behind all
Yeah,
the clothes, kind
You're
of
all sort of trying to just
like
straighten up,
holding your cloak like that kind of thing.
It is getting quite late at night now as well, so there's just a really nice full crescent moon in the sky. There's a really clear night. When you're by the sea, it does usually tend to get a bit clearer. It is quite chilly. The sea air is really hitting hard, even in somewhere like Candle Lane where it's so compact. It is still really quite chilly out, so you'll wrap yourselves a bit tighter in your cloaks. And as you enter Candle Lane, gloom envelops a narrow alley as dark as a dungeon, and there's stinky as one too. Nearly all the street lamps have been smashed, and there's only one light that pierces through the darkness. It's very faint, and it flickers just from down the end of a lane, like a distant candle.
Is it all like? Does it look like now it's all warehousing as we're going past, or
It's
does it look
starting
like
to get a bit more warehousey. There's still like houses and a couple of like rundown shops. You can see a tavern that's been out. That is not non-existent anymore. It's been boarded up. It's been re-smashed in.
And keep an eye out for that snake on a door as we're walking down,
So you,
and anyone lurking.
as you slowly walk down the lane, it's all cobbled, and you can hear the sound of your own feet just hitting the cobbles with that slight damp sort of sound to it. That nice little patter. You get down to the end of the lane, and you can getting closer to the only source of light now. You can see it is just one simple candle that's lit. The casing itself has been smashed in, but this is the only one that hasn't been stolen.
Yet.
And you do spot a warehouse in front of you, and as you look further down the street, you also spot a couple more warehouses dotted to the left. If someone would like to make a perception check.
12.
12? Yep, as you step away from the candle closer to the warehouse that is in front of you, you do see that black winged snake imprinted just above the door handle. Like, you wouldn't really notice it if you weren't looking for it.
So I'll tell the guys I've found the snake.
Is there any other like identifying marks on there, or windows or anything like that?
There is this one door, and it's like a big wooden sliding door, like a
One of
loading
those
door.
ones, yeah.
And just to the right of it, there is a painted window, just plain black painted window, just to stop people from looking
Oh, I
in
see.
or out.
Is it
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah.
is it a standalone warehouse, or is there buildings that jut onto the side?
It's a standalone one, and almost directly behind it is like the dock.
Okay. Thinking this very, very, very quietly. Recon, we're not going in. He never paid us to actually get in.
Mm.
Right, so I'm going to do the right.
Yeah.
Like, is it completely blacked out, or is there a little bit of light shining from the window, or
It can't really see. The only window that there is completely blacked out.
okay? I'm gonna try and sneak around the side, just kind of
Yep. So you're gonna go to
not like I'm hiding.
So
but
you're gonna go
just
to the left side or the right side.
the right
or-
side.
Yep. So as you just kind of slowly, just
Casual.
just casually walking around. You walk around, you get to the little side of it, and you see that there is, as you get to that side, it then fences off. So it's just like big metal fencing that stretches all the way around the corner from it.
Is that? Can I see through that?
You can. It's just like
I like
standard
this
wide fencing sort of thing. It's nothing overly secretive. It's just more there to stop people from going on.
Do I see anything like people or movement or anything like that?
You see the odd movement in the shadows, but you could guess that it's mainly more just passers-by wanting to keep themselves concealed, maybe. Nothing that gives you a pit feeling.
So is it trying to get a picture here? So like you got the building, and then you got
Yep.
the fence.
So you got this building in front of you.
Yeah.
You got the slight big wooden panel doors. The window just next to it. As you go around the corner, as the building ends, so like there, that's when the fencing starts, and the fencing is like blocking off like the backyard, like the loading yard.
Okay. When you said I can see people moving like on the dock, so like it would
Yeah.
suggest that the other side is like free moving along the
Yeah.
dockway.
So yeah, there is an open path next to the building on both sides,
But I can't get through because of the
but
fence.
you can't get through because of the fence.
I didn't know whether it was like you have your building and then your fence
Yeah.
go like that, and then you could still get through here.
So there's
kind of
basically
thing.
like street access on both sides, and at the back it's more of like a yard.
Right. Cool. I'll walk back the other way then.
What are you two doing? Just stood out front of the door?
I was gonna do what Alora was gonna do, but hers
Go
already.
around the other side.
You can walk around the other side if you wish.
Yeah, I'll
Yeah.
do that one then.
When you walk around, you'll walk around to the left-hand side. You get the same thing at the end of the warehouse. There is more of the fence stuff,
Mhm.
but on your side it's more street-like, whereas on the right it's just more open walkway, and on your side it's a lot more cobbledy street, so the buildings are almost adjacent to it.
Okay. I'll just
So
walk
it's
back.
almost like a narrow lane that people could walk up and down through if it
Mhm.
wasn't. As I come back round, can I try and peer in the window, see if there's anything?
As you try to peer in the where you try to scratch off a little bit of the paint. As you peer in, like from that tiny little slit, you make a perception check with disadvantage.
'Cause it's like minimal, you know.
9.
9.
9.
So you look in there. As you're looking in there, you see there is torches lit in there. That's all you can see. You know there's a little bit of lighting in there.
Oh damn.
Shall we head back to the inn?
Yeah,
Actu-
we can do. And
Before we go, I
Mhm.
want to cast detect magic.
Yeah, detect magic.
Detect magic.
Yeah. So you cast your detect magic, and just stepping in a circle around yourself. Doesn't seem to emit anything except the candle.
The candle is magic.
The candle is magic.
Can I make a check to work out? Oh, it should tell me what kind of magic it is.
It
It's
is
just-
arcanic magic.
Does it? Oh, as we were like walking back that way, then can I? Does it seem like it's coming from like an object? So it's like something that maybe I've cast light on it, or
As you're looking at it, are you guys walking away now? Yeah.
Pretty much.
unless you wanted to go in.
Just barge in.
Yeah.
Boom, boom, no.
Yeah, it's probably not a good
Don't
idea.
want to die yet.
No, that's fine. So as you walk away from it, and you think about the candles. Oh, what's magic about a candle, right? You know it as to be it's a flame spell. It's continual flame.
Continual flame.
So you know that the light would never be extinguished.
Well, they have magic here, guys. My spell lasts for 10 minutes, so as we're walking back, I just want to make sure, like, maybe if there's any, like warding kind of things, like alarm, like trigger kind of thing, if people would know if they were coming towards them kind of thing.
Yeah, so as you're walking through, you're almost walking at a slower pace. How are you making it look? Because you're like...
Kind of maybe like a little bit drunk, just kind of stumbling maybe
so
to one
make a
side
little
and the other.
performance check.
That's different.
Yeah.
18.
18.
Just-
So,
My
a
charisma is
a
quite
couple
high.
of passers-by go past you, and you can see them looking at you, because you all stick out in this part of the city.
We're not rough.
And they're looking at you and they're like, oh, she's drunk. So you are able to deceive the passers-by as you're slow stumbling.
Is there a lot of people, or...?
There's not masses of people, no, and as it's getting darker there's less and less people. But you are able to disguise the fact that you are stalling almost in how you're walking.
Cool.
But nothing catches your eye in the 10 minutes.
Cool.
Yep. Are you all making your way back to the yawning portal?
I think so. We have some information now, and we can make a plan for tomorrow.
Yep, so you make your way back. You're able to get back a little bit quicker. You make 1 or 2 wrong turns instead of making like 5 or 8. You're slowly, getting used to it. The dock ward is really quite mazy, but thanks to these cleverly pointed little maps, you are able to get back there. And as you get back, you are welcomed to the familiar sight of a very happy, very filled tavern. You got Duran, who's on the bar. You see him pouring his pints. You've got the girls that are all serving, plenty of patrons, people gambling, bards singing, there's entertainment, nice ripe smell of roast chicken is in the air.
Ooh, hungry.
And that well is there as always.
Give it a wide
Yeah,
berth.
you see a couple of people like flick a copper in there, sort of like a wishing well sort of thing.
Happy days.
Hopefully they're wishing that a troll doesn't come out.
That's why they come out, because they keep flipping money.
Yeah. So, if we go out, we'll get more money.
We're getting paid.
Getting
Just
paid
doing
to
like
go
a
on.
quick scan of the room. Is Volo still there, or
Make a perception check, please.
16? Yeah, 16.
You make a really good look, but you don't see him.
Okay.
You do notice a couple of people playing cards. Nothing out of the usual, unfortunately, but nothing is striking your eye.
Cool.
Yeah. You're walking up to the bar, getting a drink.
How late is it? Is it like late?
It's quite late now.
I
Yeah,
think
it's approaching like midnight.
Yeah.
This is where the tavern is at its prime.
I think I'm gonna bow out tonight, guys. It's been a long day.
Exactly
Trolls.
what I'm
This
doing.
is- So
Yeah.
we'll got
It's been a long day.
our keys.
Need my slip.
Yeah. You walk up to Durham and he's welcome back. Volo, fill me in on what you're doing. Any success?
We a little bit. We might have a lead.
I won't ask for details. I don't want to be tortured
Yeah.
for information at a later point.
Yeah, it's probably a good idea.
Yes.
But yeah, we made some progress.
Okay. It's better than no progress, I guess.
Yeah.
But you've been wanting your rooms.
Please.
But of course, just rummages around. He gets a box of keys and he shakes it. Goes, "What you gonna get tonight? Room number 2.
Thank you
Come on
very
down." And unlucky. Room number 6.
Why is that unlucky?
I'm just joking.
Oh. Ah, damn, I thought it was going to be
That's the
like
box underneath. Nah, all our rooms are sleepable. It's fine. Did you
so
want
weird.
any food sent up to your rooms? I don't know, have you eaten? Or should
Yeah,
I send
I mean,
the
that-
girls up for your entertainment? Or
No girls, but that chicken smells amazing.
it is
If you
good
could
chicken.
Send a couple of them up for us, that would
Yeah.
be brilliant.
Bit of chicken?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, carry on up and I'll send one of the girls up with the chicken.
Thank you very
Sweet.
much, Duran.
Yep, you all make your way to your rooms. You part on the different stages of the floors. So you and Viella, you say goodbye. You had a good night to the two gentlemen.
Ta-ta.
As you get onto the first floor,
Good
you
night.
guys you head up onto the second floor.
Sweet.
As you all enter your rooms, they are quite basic. The mattresses themselves, they're not on the floor. They are at least on a bed, and it's just a hay stuffed mattress. Nothing amazing, but there's curtains over the windows. There's blankets. There's a chamber pot in the far corner that doesn't smell too bad, which is kind of the best you can get. A room that doesn't completely stink of piss and feces.
What's the view like from the window?
So you open. It's a wall.
Okay. That just means
You
no
did
one's
not
going to
get
be.
a room with a view.
That just means no one's going to be looking in.
Yeah.
Close curtains
It's
back.
like such a lovely view of a wall.
What a wonderful
I'm going to
morning.
pick the bed furthest from the door.
Yeah, and you,
Just relax, wait for my dinner.
Yeah.
Read some of my book.
yeah, about 5-10 or so minutes later, you get that on your door. And someone's like,
Who
chicken.
is it?
Chicken.
Open the door. Chicken.
Chicken. Good.
Wood. And she leaves you a little plate of chicken. Same with you guys. She also brings up a pitcher of water and a couple of cups as well. So you can have a little drink. There's just chicken, a small handful of veg, and a bit of bread to help soak up all those juices.
I'm going to start writing a letter as well. Just like
Yeah.
while we're just getting ready for bed and
Yep.
stuff like
Is there anyone you're writing it to that you want to say or not want to say?
that. Not yet. No.
No, it's fine. Unusually enough, Viole's not being particularly nosy tonight.
So I eat my chicken, I go to bed.
Yeah. How about you guys?
It's like
You got your
she's
chicken, you got your bread, you got your veg, got a little bit of water.
I'm pretty much just gonna chill out, scoff down, and most probably just pass out.
Yep, you're going to do the same, Green, as well. Bit
I might,
of scram.
might do a little bit of training with Gizmo as well.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
gosh.
fine.
But I'm not
Copies
going
in
to
there in my
open the
bag.
gate.
Didn't you leave Gizmo at the stables?
No.
Did you not?
No, we
That's
took
fine
him
then.
off.
So you got your little Gizmo. What are you going to try and train him? What are you going to do?
To wait.
Barakus is going to come
To
down,
wait.
knock on our room,
To wait.
burn the place
So wait,
down.
yeah. So please make an animal handling check.
If this goes wrong, then yeah, I will.
14.
14. So
They're my rolls.
sit him on
Yeah.
the bed. You look at him. He's going for it on the bar. He doesn't like the cage. He's looking at you. He sees you approach him, and he's like looking at you, and you're like, "Wait!" He's like, and on the third wait, he stops twitching as much. He's still like you can still see him like a hyperactive child wanting to move, but he doesn't.
I'll give him a bit of chicken.
You're gonna check. And he starts running around his little cage. Happy hamster. And it wasn't overly successful, but
He's learning.
yeah, he's maybe slowly learning. Maybe he's learning a bit quicker than little Luna.
Laurie.
Laurie. Luna. That's her original name.
I get confused.
So you all get your heads down and have a very much needed good night's rest. You'll gain hit points, spells, dice, anything you've expended all gets regenerated.
I don't think we did much yesterday about that.
Yay, I get to recover my one rage.
You do all have a good night's rest. Most of you do wake up a couple of times during the night. There's a lot of banging, there's a lot of street noise. It's not the quietest inn you've ever been, and as your rooms are facing an alleyway as well, there's a lot of clutter noise. Usually when you stay at an inn, the mornings don't really start getting a bit louder till like 6, maybe 7. But in this city, it is first light and everyone is already on it. So you do all wake up. Well, you two, you just meditate anyway. But you two do wake up a little bit earlier than you would, but you've still had a great night's sleep regardless. Yeah.
Had I heard of Renee Nevermember, or have I heard of Nevermember? I'm guessing.
You've heard of the name Nevermember.
I assumed it's some sort of family name.
Yeah, you know that the one of the lords of Waterdeep was last name Nevermember.
Oh dear. But it's not the current one, is it?
It's not the current one, no.
So they're a prominent family.
What are we getting ourselves into?
Yeah. We'll end up being that. Just like torched in the middle of the streets.
Yep, so it's a new dawn, it's a new day, you all wake up. Elora and Viella usually get up a little bit before you guys, so by the time you make your way downstairs, they have already sat at the table with a hot cup of flavoured tea and just some basic food items, some cold meat from the night before and some toasted breads.
What's the plan then, guys?
Not dying.
I'm pretty sure that's always the plan.
You asked what the plan was. That's always our plan. We don't die.
Did we want to go back and check out that place in the daylight? Or
We can try. We just gotta not make it look suspicious.
Rollo in here this morning?
You haven't seen him this morning, no?
Strange how he magically disappears.
Well, he is a wizard.
That's why I said magically.
Oh dear. We could take a walk.
Yeah.
See what else we can figure out.
I say maybe scope out the warehouse a bit more as well.
Yeah, so gathering like your intel and stuff like this, the only solid bit of information you have is of this warehouse.
Yeah.
That's...
Considering it's, you know, gambling and the Zenithars and stuff, it would probably be a lot more active at night as well, under the cover of darkness and stuff, so maybe
Most probably
The
staying in the
daytime
daylight
might be
is
a bit-
probably a good idea.
like secret games.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, so we'll... Oh. As we're heading out, so head over to the bar. Is Duran still there?
He is, yeah.
Do it.
Can we keep the rooms for another night? Is there a way we can do
Yeah,
like
if
a
you-
standing night thing, or
If
we're going to be here for a while, I imagine.
yeah, much well, I would have I would have thought so. Yeah, of course. If you wanna keep your room, I'd
Like a retainer kind of thing going on here.
yeah. Why not? If you want to, it's just 5 silver pieces a night. So
Is that something you want in advance?
I will
or...
take it in advance for tonight, and then tomorrow morning you can pay for your next night.
Sounds good.
I mean, unless you want to give me a week's worth of lodgings all at once. I'd happily take 35 silver. Or 3 gold and 5 silver.
I'll pay him 3 gold for the week.
3 gold and 5 silver?
Yeah.
Yep, so you pay up for yours in at Barakus' room.
And was it 3 gold, 5 silver?
3 gold, 5 silver for the week's lodge.
Okay, so we'll pay that as
Yeah,
well.
that's fine.
3 gold, 5 silver. I'll whack that out in a minute.
That's fine.
It's not like
So
you
we
really
got a
need
week.
to.
At least then we don't have to worry that we'll come back having forgotten to pay one day and be like, yeah, okay, we have no rooms. Until we work out what we're doing,
you
and
know-
how long we're staying.
You know that a week in this world is called a 10 day? So you know this is for 10 days. It's not a standard 7 days like you would. So you can work out that you've had a little bit of discount on that.
Cool.
Cool. Well, good luck on your adventure. What are you? Am I allowed to know what you're up to today? Is it a secret?
Actually, there is something.
Yes.
Renee Nevermember.
Rainier.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Do you know him?
I do. Well, him and Floon are good close friends.
I've got.
Everybody knows Rainier. He's everywhere.
Do you?
Good funny bloke.
Yeah. Is he in here often, or?
Hey, you spot him in there every now and then. He likes to frequent quite a few of the local taverns.
His. I'm assuming he has a home in the city. I mean, his family are so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Does he get on with his family, or
It's
is he
not
kind
for
of
me
the
to
black
tell,
sheep?
you know, everyone's got their own thing.
Is he kind of the black dragon of the?
I couldn't possibly say.
Is he a good man?
I trust him full-heartedly.
What does he do? Does he have a job or?
Just lives off his parents' wealth.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you? If it was basically bottomless.
Yeah. Yeah. Have a good time.
Yeah. And that's what he's doing, and fair play to him. I know I would.
Whereabouts in the city would his family's home be? Would that be in the castle ward?
It would be, yes. They are in the very swanky regions of Waterdeep.
Oh,
Of course.
Yes.
Have you seen him lately?
Not for a few nights.
Oh, okay. Is there any favourite haunts of his?
Not particularly.
Is he a mobile person?
Yeah, I think him and Floon, let's see how many inns they can do in a week, sort of thing.
They're crawling types.
Yeah.
No, that sounds like a party.
What about Floon?
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 Floon. F-O-L-L-O-N. No, F-L-O-O-N.
F-L-O-O-N. Yeah, okay, I had that really bad. I put it Thorn. T-H-U-R-N. Floon.
Floon.
It's because Volo's got a weird accent.
Yes, I think it is. Yes, what about Floon? What kind of... Is he the same? Is he from a wealthy family?
Oh
or?
no, Floon's not. No, he's a working man, adventurer of sorts.
Does he have a residence here, or is he...
He does, but I couldn't tell you where he lives. I mean,
That's fair
he
enough.
comes here, that's all I need to know.
Spends his money.
Exactly.
Sorted. Well, thank you for your help.
And have a good day. Today is another day to excel.
Oh yeah.
Hopefully.
I was making a stab in the dark with the castle ward thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of the kind of name you would expect.
Yeah, there are some like aristocratic sort of inns there.
So it's like the place you would rather go when
Yeah,
you're
the
more-
aristocratic is the top of the food chain.
Yeah.
In terms of inns. And
No,
bits
that's
like
where you
that.
don't want to rob.
Yeah. Like if you were of aristocratic background, it were a day per person is like it costs you nearly 10 gold a day to be aristocratic.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Break
Yeah,
out your
that's-
piggy banks.
Where's my sugar daddy?
A lot of bards pretend to be aristocratic, but let's be honest, they're modest at best.
Shall we take a slightly different route and go down the dock, like on the dock edge?
As luck would have it, the yawning portal does have a map outside.
Take a mental picture.
Yeah. Click.
Well, what is it?
It's just like, I think it'd be a bit too obvious to pull out my book and try and like draw the line. You go there. No.
What is it? Mental picture, click, 2 steps. What the fuck?
Yeah.
You constantly, while the three of you are studying this, you constantly see Green go, and walk away and go.
Really, just leave it. Let's just take a walk, see what we can find. We know the rough direction. Maybe we could see the building from the other side.
Yep, so you're going to head back to the dock ward, yeah, but
Yeah.
maybe take a different
Yeah,
route.
so we kind of
yeah?
want to head up like around Dock Street. So we're actually, if we can.
Have you actually found Candle Lane on the
I
map
still haven't. I
yet?
didn't want to make it like, because the other side actually had like the yawning portal thing.
Yeah, I can ask why it's my side.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it tells you where it's to.
But you know it's on the dock ward, and you know it's by this near. Like,
We'll find it in the break. We'll find it in the
Yeah.
break. It's fine.
You get there.
Yeah.
You get there. Who gets a break?
We'll find it next session.
I never probably forget.
Yeah.
You all just openly talk about it. Yeah, we'll find it out. We're gonna forget it. You're just walking
Yeah.
down the street happily talking.
Yeah.
You're in a somewhat nicer part of Waterdeep, so you can see a lot more people talking openly. There's food stalls. And the great thing about Waterdeep, anything you want, it's here. There's never any need to trade outside of Waterdeep.
Everything comes
Yeah,
in.
it's such a vibrant city. It's got a great trade of most things, including coal, which isn't a very popular trade in this world, but it is becoming to be more and more of a trend. You've never seen them, but you do hear people speak about it in inns of energy that's being produced by burning coal, which seems like a complete and bizarre what the actual
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Hell.
like that's sorcery.
The hell.
Yeah. So yeah, you make your way to the dock ward. You take your time doing it as to not to seem so obvious, as you were also there last night and you don't know if anyone would have saw you. So you do take your way, and instead of going down the centre of the candle lane to lead you to that candle, you've kind of gone left, and you're coming now from the left.
Yeah.
And you do see in front of you, 50, 60 feet or so, you do see the warehouse. There are a few more people dotted around today than there was last night, naturally, but they're all very much hooded figures, and anyone you see with a child is holding them really close to them, and it's got a very fishy smell around here. It's not very pleasant.
Was there any way that looked like we could get in to go behind it, so like we're not coming up to the front again, so that we're was there like a
There's
like
there's like alleys and stuff that you can weave in and out of.
yeah.
But there's not really a route to come in behind it, as it's right on the docks,
Right.
sort of bit, and that
And I suppose
whole part
that's
is like
where-
fenced off.
Yeah, okay. Are there any shops on this street bit, either to one side or the other, where you could
There
stand
are.
and browse and see the thing?
There's no shops in that are that close to it. No, there's shops as like you're approaching from the far end, but I mean you can barely even make out their shops. Like you could just run your finger along the window and
Oh,
come up
yeah.
with your finger thick with dust.
We don't want to.
Yeah.
As we're walking down, then, do we see anyone going in or out, or?
As you're walking, are you just gonna walk towards it in like a general manner?
Yeah,
sort
so
of
and
thing?
then kind of like go
Yeah.
past.
I mean,
it.
as you make your walk a little bit slow, not so slow that it's obvious, but in that time it takes you to walk there, you don't see anyone come in or out.
Doors still.
Door's
Locked.
still shut.
We never tried the door, so we're not sure
No.
if it is locked or not.
Yeah, we don't know who's in there either. So that's the
Exactly.
issue.
Yeah,
That's
and
D&D.
this
Yeah,
is
exactly.
the people that are part of the Xanathar's Guild down territory. So, as far as we know.
You sure?
Well, yeah, because these two Candle Lane Zentrinians, which are the Eye people, which are part of the Xanathar's Guild.
Make an intelligence check.
Oh, thank God it didn't me. It's on mine.
7.
You're thinking.
That's what Volo told us.
You're thinking about the logo on the door, and you feel as though you might remember something, but unfortunately the thought escapes you.
Okay, so maybe it's something different. So I feel I've seen this sign before.
Can I do the check as well?
Yeah, if you wish, you make an intelligence.
This is gonna be fun. 10.
10.
It's better than mine.
You're as you're pacing around, dawdling, trying to make it look not obvious at all, like you're scoping out this massive warehouse. You think to yourself, you're like, that black-winged snake. Where have I seen that before? And you do remember that while you were in the yawning portal, you saw someone with that tattoo on their hand, and you know it to be a Zentrium gang member, or Zents.
Zentrin, yeah, I have that, and I thought they were part of the thingy. These are the opposite people. Out of game.
So,
Just Aaron, these are the opposites. Eureka!
Yeah, because that's what I put. I was Zentrian, but then I put Xanathar's Guild Avoid.
so I'll tell them
Yeah.
where I've recognised it before.
Yeah, you've kind of almost been
And that
thinking
will be
about
like-
that symbol all night. You're like, I know it somewhere. Like, where the f have I seen it? And it finally pings like a light bulb in your head.
That's why he's so
You-
restless.
it's part of the Zentrini or Zentrium gang. Not there.
The unintelligent one remembers something.
Not to rub it in.
Too distracted with this all play, like, oh, look at me, I'm being like a thief.
Yeah. So the warehouse is still standing there, very old and ramshackle. You can see it's a 2-story building.
Should we not?
It's a massive
Can
front
do.
door.
Don't ask me to knock because you know what happened last time.
Yeah, knock smack.
If you wish to knock on the large warehouse loading door, you may.
Okay, yeah, I'll knock. I'll break the door
Yeah.
down, but yeah.
No, why not?
We'll sacrifice the dragon first.
So you go up to the door. As you get closer to the door, you see the familiar logo just above the handle. You also notice what you didn't notice last night, and there's like a little sliding bit on it. It's like a sliding peephole.
Yeah.
And as you're looking at it, you can see it can only be accessed from the other side of the door. So do you knock?
I'll say that I've seen that. Shall we knock or shall we wait?
Let's make another lap and try and make a plan here
Okay.
because. Right. What do we know?
This one, most of our sessions just gonna be this.
Oh, yeah, but it is, isn't it? We
It's
don't know
one of
anything about
those
the
ones
city.
where we
If
knock
you
and
wish,
it'd
you
be like-
can like carry on walking in a different area of the
Yeah.
dock wards and kind of maybe discuss to yourselves quietly
Yeah.
about what's, because I mean, if you just hang around this area,
Yeah,
you
we're gonna
may-
get
we,
noticed.
we may just.
Has anyone actually noticed us? Like, is there people that are like
Make a perception check.
There's most probably at least 2.
3?
The people that you have noticed in and out are quite creepy looking themselves, very hoods up, but you don't feel you've paid much attention to
Okay.
anything in front of you.
Let's take a wander up.
Yeah.
And out.
So you take a little, you go, instead of going up Candle Lane, you kind of go further right,
Yeah.
and you just kind of mutter to yourselves.
So we know they were there. We know they were followed.
Yeah.
And we know the people that followed them are usually here.
Thing is, how do we get in?
Yeah.
Unless it's something to do with card games.
And we don't have anything to trade. Anything like that. We don't know if they trade.
Unless they just want money.
Hmm.
If we say we're looking for people, then
We don't know.
how
if it's
do they
gonna
know
kick
they
off.
know that kind of thing?
And you know of 2 points of entry to the warehouse, which would be the window or the main door, obviously.
When they're both on the same side, so.
Yeah.
The fence, did it look like it could be easily scaled from what I remember last night, or could we like flick through it, or
Yeah, it's only like 6 or 7 feet high. It's just your standard fence, just to stop people from going into the back area, really. Kind of like a fence for your back garden.
we could try and.
So pretty much, if one of you go on my shoulders, you'll be able to see over.
I mean, it's see-through. You don't have to
Yeah.
go over it, like, to look in. Like,
The
it's
only reason
see-through.
why you would want to go over it is if
You wanted to find a back way in,
Yeah. If there is.
if there is.
Does one of you, either you or you, like to make an intelligence check?
You go for it. I might maybe like crap the last one.
Intelligence, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. I can always tell my intelligence minus.
13.
13. Now, thinking back on last night as you're walking down, you do remember seeing a similar door to the door outside the front. It's another loading door. It's at the back. You didn't remember seeing a window, but you do know there is another big wooden loading door at the back. So there's a front and a back entrance.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Do we go in the day or do we go in the night? There wasn't much more to be gleaned by day.
To be honest, if you do it at night, it makes it easier so you don't get noticed as much.
But they could be in there. Well, they could be in there now, I suppose, but
It
you wouldn't
could
be noticed from outside.
Hmm.
Would I know if like docks are normally busier, like time of days or anything like that?
No.
We don't know a schedule for it.
I mean, there are fishing docks within this port, but the specific area that you are, it's not a fishing port, it's
Yeah.
more of a cargo port,
Which
And-
happens all day long.
which
really.
happens all day long. You haven't seen any cargo ships come in or out of this one during the day, and you didn't see any obviously at night either.
Hmm.
So you're unaware as to whether this is actually in use.
I say we wait till twilight and then we sneak in the back.
Sneaky skin.
Sneaky, sneaky. What time of day is it now? Is it coming up midday?
We'll
or-
say it's coming up midday, yeah. You've been slowly wandering around this place, making conversations with yourself.
Not suspicious at all.
What do you guys think? Wait till twilight and then come back?
Can do.
Yeah, wait until it's darker and then we'll.
Excellent. Let's go explore more of the city.
Yeah,
Find a library.
yeah,
Of course, a library.
but of course. Yep, there is much to do and much to see and much to love within the great city of Waterdeep. Is there any, obviously aside from the library, is there anything in particular anyone wishes to see? There's shops galore
You
here.
can go find. I've heard they have a really good market, like a
They
proper
do.
central market. We could go
Renowned for its market.
see if there's any job boards, things like that.
Yeah, could do.
That might actually get us.
Yeah, better
If
money.
there's anything.
Even though you've been spending it anyway.
You know from your hearings and from what your father used to tell you that the trades boards is where the main market happens, and you just happen to find a map.
Yay! Let's
How
take a look.
ironic.
But you do know that you actually went through the trade wards anyway.
Yeah. Oh, that was that bit in it where we came in through Rivergate, didn't we?
Yeah.
And then
So we walk straight through it.
yeah.
You didn't walk straight through the market area, but like you did walk through the.
Just
trade
out of
wards
curiosity,
region.
if you were going to walk from one end to the other, how long would it take?
a very long time.
So it's kind of like the London kind of
Yeah,
situation.
it's very much a London-sized city, and it's like every other city you've kind of visited is more like Exeter.
Yeah.
Where you can
Whereas
actually
this
do
is
it.
this is London, baby.
I freaking nuts.
Yeah, like you know, one side to Exeter and the other will take you a good half a day anyway.
Yeah.
But London's like what?
You're not getting through that today.
Mm-mm.
Cool. Well, let's head that way then and see if there's anything we can see.
Mm.
Any other pubs we like the look of?
Where can we get drunk tonight?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's many a pub.
Yeah, we'll head back that way.
Yep. So you head back your way through the dock wards. Are you gonna go through go to the trade wards via the route you were coming through?
Yeah, so I
So-
guess come up that way and then kind of
Yep. So you
loop
kinda,
around that
you
area.
carry
kinda.
on left and you kind of loop around until you find a street you feel is going to take you back onto the main one.
There's a place there called Virgin Square.
That's where all the creepy people go. Yeah, Traveller Con.
It's like, sorry, broccoli.
Yep, so you make your way up through, and the atmosphere changes quite quickly. You've gone from this, even at, there's only really lights in this sort of Candle Lane district when the sun is at its highest point in the day, and even then it's not a mass amount of natural light. So you walk your way through and it changes so quickly. It goes from really dark and gloomy to, I'm not going to say a lot more joyful, but just a lot more active, and there's a bit more of a spark in the atmosphere. And the fish smell is getting less, which is always a bonus, and you start to smell more of baking, more meats, savouries, things like that. So you're going into a more pleasant, yummy area.
Yummy,
All
yummy.
the treats. Yeah.
Cool.
As you make your way, you're almost following your nose and following the crowd. You see a lot more of the guard now here dotted all around. You see there's a lot more relaxed atmosphere. The women aren't holding their children so tight to them. They kind of got the handheld. There's a couple of kids running around, sort of thing. It's a lot more relaxed, a lot more cheerful, a lot less depressing.
Cool.
What are we doing? You're gonna check out the stores?
Gonna scoop out the
Yeah, see if there's anything interesting on offer.
Yeah. As you walk through up the main market streets, so say you're almost working your way up, you see so many stalls. You're almost. It kind of reminds you a little bit of the Hyde Harvest Tide Festival, of all little stalls like that. Only it's every day here.
Wow.
Yeah. You
I'm
got
getting hungry. Is there
Yeah,
what kind of
there's-
food stores we got here?
You got all sorts. You got places that are doing grilled meats, breads, loaded breads, sandwiches. There's places doing pies, pasties. There's gin stalls, whiskey stalls, ale stalls. You walk past one that's just, it's not even a stall. It's just one massive 10 by 10 foot beer barrel. And there's people just leaning on it, having a drink. And there's a guy serving everyone. There's not even a table. He's just taking money straight away in the pocket, handing them out. You can imagine how much this guy is making with a barrel that big.
Kind of gravitate towards one of the pie stalls.
Yeah. So you go up to one of the stalls. It's a very middle-aged, sweet-looking lady. And you see she's got all different varieties of pies, meats, savoury, sweets. She's got open pies, fruit pies. There's
Ooh, I want
all
a nice,
the pies.
nice meat and gravy pie.
Yeah. Hello, dear.
Hiya.
Would you like meat, sweet,
Oh, meat, please.
meat?
What would you recommend?
Oh, well, I like this one. It's the beef and onion pie for me. Oh,
Excellent. I'll have one of them, please.
yeah. Would you like a little bit of gravy to go with that, dear?
Ooh, why not?
And do you want just a slice or do you want the whole pie?
How,
I do
how
slice.
big is
So they're like proper dinner-sized plate pies.
Oh, okay. Just a slice, please.
Just a slice. So she cuts you it is a very healthy portion, and she just kind of like puts it on this little like wooden sort of plate, quite flexible, really loosely made. It's got a little dip in it, kind of like what you'd think of now as a soup bowl.
Oh, okay.
But obviously not at the same time. She puts it on there, puts a little wooden fork in there, little sporky thingy, chucks on a load of gravy. Just 2 copper, my dear.
Pass over the copper.
And she
Thank you
seems
very
really,
much.
really, really grateful. And these pies just smell amazing. And it's all, some of them are quite stubby and spout like little mouthful of pies, little pocket pies. She's got a range of pocket pies, like little mini pork pies. You've got your pie.
I got my pie.
Yeah. Viella is also gonna have a pie, but she's gonna have the cheese and onion pie. She's a bit weird.
She is very, very.
Yeah.
That's another 2 copper, yeah.
No, that one is 3 copper
Ooh.
because cheese is expensive here in this world.
Nom nom nom.
Nummy nom.
You guys, are you keeping any stalls in particular you're hoping to see, or any foods or anything like
I'm
that?
looking for something that's like sweet.
So it's like
Sweet,
sweet. There are
sweetish.
many of sweet treats. There's tables that do sweet breads, sweet pastries, sweets in general. There's an exotic fruit stall.
Oh, that one sounds good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll
Yeah.
get that one.
So you walk up to the exotic fruit stall and there's this almost Del Boy like character, and he's there and he's got these oranges, and he's like pineapple flavoured oranges from Seville, and he's chatting to the crowd and he's trying to get them to buy as much as possible.
Yeah.
And he's just there like, you can whole box for a copper, 2 boxes for 4 copper. Come on guys, come and get them. And he's just got all these different bright colours and different shapes of fruits, a lot of which you've never seen before. Is there, and then you see what you as a person, you know, as like pineapples and kiwis and all these little things like that, but they're fruits that your character's never seen in your life. No, nothing this exotic. It's definitely, you can tell they get it because it's a port city.
Mm.
Is there anything that's taken your fancy? The spiky one, the furry one, the weird shaped one.
What's the furry one?
Furry one. What a furry one? He holds it to you. Kiwi.
No.
Kiwi. Intriguing.
It tingles your tongue.
It tingles your tongue.
Tingles your tongue.
How so?
Oh, let me show you. And he has some like random slices of fruit. So he's doing a fruit medley that's got all different types of fruit in it. And he picks up a little bit with his fingers and I'll try that.
Okay.
And you try a little bit and it's almost like, you know what a kiwi tastes like.
Yeah.
Got like a little tingly.
I might take some of those.
Take some kiwis.
Yeah.
How about you take even more? Like we've got kiwis, we've got oranges, we've got pineapples, we've got mangoes, we've got melons, we've got pears. Now they're crazy.
Mangoes as well, please.
Mango. And he just grabs it. He's got he's got a kiwi and he's got a mango. What else? Ever had a pineapple? Mental.
Never had pineapple.
Pineapple?
I'm willing to try it.
He points over at this weird spiky looking thing. Pineapple.
It looks like a weapon.
Make a
more than
lovely
fruit.
drink with this one.
I'll take that
And
one
he
as
points
well.
out, got coconuts. There's milk in there. And he grabs a little like it's not brown like we know it. It's white, so it's like really fresh.
Yeah.
And he gives it a little shake, and you hear like a little bit of water in there.
Yeah.
Milk. He shakes it.
I'm good, thank you. Just those
You
three
sure?
for me.
Okay.
Sure.
He puts it back on. Well, that's a silver for all that then, please.
Okay.
Oh,
I'm silver.
and you gain 3 pieces of fruit.
Yeah.
He starts serving some other people, and you see him. He grabs the coconut and he knocks a hole in it, and he puts like a little weird wooden tube in there, and he hands it over, and someone passes money. You can see they're like slurping up the milk from this weird wooden tube.
How inventive.
Cheers, Sheila. Fruit. you probably look more like a vegetable. But I do have some pears.
What's a pear?
Exactly. What is a pear? A pear is a delicious tropical magical fruit from far away. Delicious, and they come in pears. And he holds up 2 pears by the stalks. Pears, pears, pears.
Okay,
Pears.
I'll have.
It's 2 copper for 2 pears.
Okay.
Yep.
I want a few then.
Yeah.
I'll take what's that weird pointy?
Oh, that's the pineapple.
I'll have a pineapple.
Oh, yeah. And you seem like an exotic fella. We have papaya. He looks around. But you all know that papaya is a very, very exotic and very rare fruit. And it's very hard to get in many places in this world.
So how much?
4
4 gold.
Or she's there with a pie like,
1 pineapple for the gentleman. And you see he doesn't go for the pineapples. He goes for something beyond the pineapples that are wrapped in like sort of box shape. There you go, my fella. That's just 4 gold copper for the pineapple. And you hand him over 4 gold. You know that exotic fruit trade like this is illegal in Waterdeep.
Hey.
So you know to, because Elora filled you in, so you know to be very careful with your papaya.
Yeah.
You don't just wave your papaya
No.
about full.
you put
Yeah.
it in your pocket.
Yeah.
And
Sneaky,
This
sneaky.
is how it
Yeah, and
is.
you've got quite to the fruity treat.
I hand over them.
I mean, I pay 4 quid for a papaya. Why shouldn't they pay 4 gold for it?
As we're walking along it, do we see any like job boards going up or anything like that? Or
You see that on like random poles and buildings throughout the city, there are just like the odd little job here and there. There's a couple of like wanted posters, things like that as well.
do we pass? Is there anything like that around here? Or
There's a couple of like random job posters and that you see.
yeah, as we're like munching on our grub and stuff, we'll take a look up.
Let me just get up my job board. Totally had that prepared.
Unbelievable.
Did it?
She's like, you should have been in the warehouse by now, guys. What are you doing?
Not at all. One that does take your fancy or catches your eye is something that you're very familiar with.
Nose.
Gnolls. You see a very crudely drawn picture of a gnoll, and it's a bounty to hand into the guardmaster of gnoll ears. It's a copper for every gnoll ear.
I have no ears.
I got no fingers.
I got 2.
2. Typical. Why does it always have to be nose?
Their menaces are like rats.
Why can't it be rats?
Would be easier.
You get 1 stab and they're dead.
Yeah.
They don't stab
Find
you in
out
the
our
back.
evil mutant splinter.
It says to fight the Norway's report to Captain Hytus.
Hitus.
So that's Hyustus. Hytus.
That's one weird fucking.
Do you know what, the names in this are so difficult. I would change them, but I want to.
Yeah.
Stay
Please
true.
stay straight and.
Yep. So you notice a couple of little jobs, little like pickety jobs like that are spotted around. You don't see any like main job boards,
Cool. I imagine there's.
and like the standard ones as well. You know, referring to like the gangs within any information, blah blah blah. Rewards can be given if it leads to anything. Random little ones like that.
Cool.
So you spend a good like couple of hours just in the market area, just enjoying the atmosphere. There's some like street performers, jugglers. You see a small family of tabaxi performing little magical acts, acrobatics, little bits like that. You see people chucking them little bits of copper and silver.
Yeah.
Tabaxi, you know, are cat-like creatures.
Yeah, I think we just kind of like spend the afternoon and get a little bit more familiar, like
Yeah.
the area around like the yawning portal and
Mhm.
stuff. And
As you're going through the market and that, you do get a sense of familiarity where you are. You know that you are actually quite close to the stables where you initially docked your cart. so you get a little rough sense of where you are.
Cool. So we got like a little.
Well, the stables we visited because they took it to another stables, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they took it to like a holding further on, I think, didn't they?
Yeah. That we've already paid for, if I remember rightly.
We paid deposit,
Yeah.
and then we'll pay the rest when we pick
go.
them up.
Basically.
However long we leave them there for.
So you spend a good chunk of the afternoon just exploring the city in general. I mean, you only
I think
really,
we wouldn't go up far.
You
because-
kind of just explore mainly the trade wards. You maybe just get on to the edge of the
City
city of the dead. You kind of just get to
Is
around
that like-
this area.
Are these walls?
They are, yes.
So this is
It's more
grave-
like
graveyard?
you would assume it is more.
Yeah.
It's not like a graveyard.
Sounds awesome though, the City of the Dead.
It does sound quite cool. I'm quite intrigued.
Go in there to be attacked by zombies.
Good training session, I guess.
Yeah.
Everybody dies.
So let's just see some of the things you guys might be seeing, shall we? So you see as you're walking around the market, you see a dwarf trying to sell off really cheap jewellery just on like a street corner. He's not even got like a proper stall. As you kind of get to the market, there's just this dwarf, greasy, dirty looking hands. He's got like a little cloth on the floor and he's selling like dodgy looking jewellery, but you see it's very cheap and a good few people are actually picking bits up. Well, hello.
That must have been a good room.
You, as you start to leave the trade wards, you see a group of armed guards as well, escorting quite a large cage sort of cart, and you see that they seem to have captured some sort of monster that's within the cages, and it's kind of almost like as though they try to hide it from public view. It's got a little drape over like the monster, and you just see one massive claw sticking out from underneath the drape.
Ooh.
You still got Gizmo, right?
Do we recognise?
Make a... What would you like to make? Make an intelligence check, please.
Oh god.
13.
13. You do not recognise this creature by its claw.
Ooh, they have big creepy things in here.
Beautiful.
The late afternoon starts to now approach into early evening. Anything else y'all wish to be doing? Are you gonna head back to the Yawning Portal and spend the night there again, or...?
I think we're gonna go and try and break into this warehouse.
Yeah.
So are you guys gonna head back to the dock ward, yeah?
Yeah.
Yep, so you almost try to take another different route. So you kind of come out of the trade bit and you kind of go down the main bit and you kind of beeline it when you get to here and kind of just go the long way round so you don't try to look so obvious that you're taking the same route every time. Trying to mix it up a bit, and by doing this and taking different routes, you also are able to gauge the city a little bit better.
Trying to keep like a memory of all like escape routes.
Yeah,
basically.
Yeah, and you also doing this, you see a lot more of the city, and what you have noticed is that when you were in like the trade wards, there was a lot. Not only was everyone looking nicer and felt nicer, just the shops in general, the inns as well, they were really welcoming. But the ones that like you've seen in the dock ward are very dark, and there's only
almost like you've
there's
gone into
only
a different
one
city.
kind of nice one that you saw, and it was called the Sheepmaster's Hall. It looked comfortable, to say the least, whereas all the others, looked quite poor. You noticed one called the Black Star Inn, and it looked really sooty and dusty, and the windows had obviously never been washed. You saw splash marks against the windows of where people may have thrown their drinks and no one bothered cleaning it up. And it didn't look nice. So you really notice coming in and out of what areas you feel are more suitable and safer.
Yeah.
Kind of like going from Sidwell Street and Exeter to High Street. It's just the
Yeah.
change is mental.
That instant.
Yeah.
We're now.
It's like, it's Sidwell Street, run. There we go, Monk's Road. Yeah, so you're heading back to the warehouse. On the first try, you approach from the centre. The second, you approach from the left, and this time you'll be approaching from the right.
As we're approaching, is there... How many people are about?
There's not too many. What you do notice that when people walk through here, they tend to either walk quite quickly or they just go straight into the nearby houses. They don't.
So they don't deviate and they don't.
Yeah, they
look
don't
either
tend
side.
to linger on the streets. Not like you guys have been.
We have been noticed. Okay. Okay, so I think when we duck into like one side and then try and hop over the fence,
You're gonna hop the fence.
go in from the back.
Yeah, that's fine.
I was
I
gonna
mean,
say you could
you're
always...
coming up
We're
from the
gonna-
right, so you would be able to.
That's this side.
You wouldn't
isn't
be
it?
able to like scale through the whole of the docks, but you know, like it would be easier.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll try and
So the sun is slowly starting to set now, and as you are closer to the docks, before you get there, it's quite a nice. I mean, the sea breeze is coming in and hitting you, and it is extremely cold. But seeing the sun set over the sea, you can see the coastline there is, rippled in the nice deep orange sun as it sets. It's a really nice setting. And as you turn to walk towards the warehouse, the mood changes almost instantly. You go from this gorgeous setting to this, like, oh god, what are we about to get ourselves into
Yeah.
sort of feeling. But it's a nice evening. So always a nice evening for an adventure. Yeah, so you make your way to just on the edge of the fence. You're probably at 10 feet away from the fence.
So we're now on the back side of the
You're
thing.
now on the backside.
Is there anyone around?
At a distance behind you, you can see a couple of dock workers, but they are really quite far away. You can see them just kind of shifting boxes in their own yard. That's quite a few docks down.
Looking, can we see through the fence at this point, or is it
Yeah,
like...
you can see there is no hidden part of the fence. It's all very open. It's just there just to stop people wandering in, really.
Is there any... Yeah, so there's no one in the yard to
There's
the
no
other
one
side.
in the yard on the outside.
Is there any windows on this side?
There is not, no. It's very dark. As you do look up, you can see at the very top on the second floor there is another blacked out painted window, but it is on the second level.
Okay.
We'll have to climb again.
Green, give me wisdom.
Okay,
Yeah. So
boost.
make a perception check.
17.
17. Like, you go, right, give me a boost. So you kind of get down on one knee, put your hands together, and as you stand on it and you get to the top, you look over and go, there's a door.
What, in the fence?
Yeah. How else to get the stock in and out of the fence? So you kind of at the thing, and as it, when it goes straight into the docks, you look over and go, there's a gate, guys. There's a gate.
Well,
You can still choose to jump over the fence, or you...
That's more dramatic.
yeah.
That's the best part.
Oh, yeah.
That's a good
I can imagine
And Laura
Green...
jumps and backflips over the fence, landing fantastically, and everyone else just walks through the gate.
Yeah.
to be honest, I can't imagine Green just going... Phoom.
Yeah, just over.
Get him.
But okay, so... We'll go around. The
Yeah,
door's
like,
locked.
oh, okay, let me do. Yep. So as you walk around, you see why you may not have noticed it before. Like, it's not purposely blended in, but the gate is the same material as the fence, and it is literally just kind of like a pull open sort of thing.
Cool. Try and
Yeah.
tug it a little bit. Not as if, like, so I could swing...
Yeah,
if it
it's
was
fine.
open, swing
You,
it open.
you kind of push it, and there's that little wooden wheel on the bottom of it, and as you push it, it just rocks and then closes back on itself. Makes a little sound as the metal clicks on the metal, but it appears to be open.
Slide it open just enough to squeak through.
Yeah.
Back to
Slide.
fence.
You open it, maybe just a couple of feet, and then you slide it, and then you slide against the fence. I'm invisible.
And crab like a go on the fence.
Yeah. Yeah, you step in, you wait for a second, kind of listen out for any noises, anyone speaking. Nothing, and nothing's coming from the warehouse in front of you.
Caca, it's all good.
It's all good. Didn't realise that we were making noises to say it's okay now.
Yeah. Are you all stepping through and heading towards the giant double door?
Yeah.
Because it is obviously a very, like the one up front is very big. It's a loading door. You know, it's big ass warehouse ones that fall out to the side. Kind of like the ones that you would have in your loading area. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you walk up to it. You see the same familiar pattern just above the door handle. What are we doing?
Are we trying this one, or maybe seeing if there's...
Maybe check to see if it's trapped first, maybe.
Yeah. If
Before
someone would
opening
like
it.
to check for traps, please.
I knew as you
The
said
trap specialist.
that. Yeah, you said that last time and what happened. I had something sticking in my head.
No, that was me.
Right, what am I rolling for?
For checking for traps, so roll your stealth.
Stealth. 15.
15. You don't find any traps. As you gently almost rattle the door, you do know that it is locked.
Yay. Well, there's no traps, but it's locked.
Good thing you have some lockpicks.
Yeah.
Is it like one of those doors that have like a littler door in it, or is it?
No, it's just
Just a
one big
big
one,
one.
and the same on the front door. It's got that little peephole that you know if you're on the other side, you'll be able to slide it open.
Cool.
Yeah.
While he's doing that, we're just kind of like casually leaning against the thing. It's like, so if anyone was like looking into the yard, they'd be like,
Oh,
oh,
wow.
Yeah,
I-
it's on break. Yeah.
yeah.
It's like I'm not suspicious at all. Just
Ahoy!
like, hey.
Oh. One of us stands in front of him. Just like,
Well, I'll be standing in front of him, so I'll
Yeah.
probably
You'd be
cover.
just
Yeah.
like this.
So, are you gonna attempt to pick the lock? Yes.
Do it.
Yeah. So, if you'd like to make a check with your thieves' tools, so you can use your straight up roll and add your proficiency with that using your thieves' tools. So you're proficient in use of thieves' tools.
Okay, so
So, straight up roll with your proficiency bonus. So,
that's that
2.
one, yeah.
Yeah.
2.
So straight up roll and number 2.
9.
9. It's quite hard to find the keyhole to begin on this one, and once you're like, oh, there's not enough fucking keyhole, you kind of manage to get your really thin tools around the back, and you feel as though you can feel the latch which will unlock it, but just as you like, yes, your lockpick snaps, and you've lost the lockpick, and the door still remains locked.
Yink. I told you, this is not gonna work.
You were very close though. You felt that beam.
if at first you don't succeed,
Try again.
Try again.
You wanna try again?
Let's
Yep.
try
So
again.
it's lava, rinse, repeat.
Exactly
again.
the same.
Same again. So again, you
And the
just
funny part is that was a different die.
get it up, and you're just like, oh, this time. You feel as though you're getting at it at the wrong angle.
Yink.
And that's another lockpick lost.
Viola's just like, oh, fine, I'll have a go.
See, I told you you should have done that in the first
So
place.
please make an athletics check. So
Athletics.
yeah, so she's not going to use a lockpick. She's just going to try and rip it open with brute
8.
force. 8. Puts a foot on the door, grabs the handle. Oh, that was awkward. She is unsuccessful.
All we need is Green just to punch in. No, I'm kidding. To pull.
So the door is still locked.
Pass
Doors,
me a
guys.
lockpick, I'll give it a go.
So instead, because you don't know,
Yeah,
you're not a
okay.
lockpicky. So we'll say you're doing more of a strength check. So please roll an athletics.
20.
20.
Not natural.
Shake it off! Shake it off! Shake it off! Shake it off!
This is gonna make
And you don't even get your foot up. You kind of wiggle it. Viola's just like, I loosened it, but she says it quietly. I loosened it.
Should have done that in the first place. Told you it wasn't a good idea.
Well, you
It
gotta do
would've
what you gotta do, you know. So as you step in to the warehouse, It's quiet. And
Shut the door behind us.
yeah, so you step in. It's quite dark. There are some torches lit around, but there are some areas that are casted into shadow. As you step in, you quietly slide the door closed behind you. And it's a very musty, very dust-filled room, and just on entering, you feel as though it's not a active warehouse like many of the ones that you've seen along the dock ward. You step in, you can smell a almost metallic smell in the air. You step forwards. And there's just hot boxes and crates. A lot of them have been busted open. And there's just that horrible smell of iron gets stronger as you walk in. And as you walk through, you see there are just bodies scattered everywhere. Pools of blood and stains running up the walls. And as you step closer, that's what we're going to call it.
Oh.
Boom, 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 boom.
This is where we're gonna get. This is where the freaking
Boom, boom, boom,
gods will
boom.
come.
Yeah. So that's where we are calling it right there, as you're
Okay.
faced with this brutal murder. Battle has happened here.
Dun dun dun.
Dun, dun, dun.
Where was my invite?
You're not invited.
Dig
But-
digs.
That is it for us today. Exciting news, by the way. We have got some Jolly Holly holiday stuff coming at you guys.
Oh yeah.
We're excited to announce what that's going to be in maybe next week, or maybe the week after that, or maybe the week after that. We don't know when we'll announce it to you, but it's going to be freaking awesome! Yeah! We nailed Christmas this year. Yeah, completed it. But thank you all for watching. Thank you for clicking in, clicking out. Always appreciate it. And as always, a massive thank you to our sponsor, TaylorMade Craft, who unfortunately we didn't get to see the initiative markers today, but that just gives you more incentive to click on to next week's episode. So, we'll see you later. Bye. 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 Bye.